Among the titans of industry, one family stands out: the Rockefellers. Starting from humble beginnings in Cleveland, Ohio, the Rockefellers rose to unprecedented wealth and power through the oil industry, shaping not just their own destiny, but also the course of American history. But are they truly old money, with their roots in business and politics, or do they defy categorization, blending the lines between new and old wealth? What defines old money, and how do the Rockefellers fit into this narrative? Well, to know this all, you have to stay tuned till the end. In the vibrant city of Cleveland, Ohio, as the 19th century dawned, young John D. Rockefeller began his journey. He wasn't born into wealth or power, but his life would be shaped by the lessons taught by his devout mother, Eliza Davison. She imparted to him the values of charity, frugality, and careful financial management, often by the soft light of a candle. John faithfully absorbed these teachings, meticulously recording his daily expenses in a ledger. However, alongside his mother's influence, loomed the shadow of his father, William Avery Rockefeller. Known for his charisma and a penchant for risky ventures, William made a living selling dubious miracle cures. Despite his father's influence, John's ambition and hard work would set him on a path to greatness. As John grew older, he developed a keen business sense. At just 16 years old, he began working as an assistant bookkeeper in a small produce commission firm. He meticulously recorded every transaction, honing his skills and saving diligently. His commitment to charity was evident even then, as he set aside a portion of his earnings to help others. John's opportunity to truly make his mark came during the Civil War. The demand for supplies soared, and he and his business partner, Morris B. Clark, seized the opportunity to enter the oil refining business. This decision proved to be pivotal, leading to the establishment of Standard Oil, one of the most influential companies in American history. Under John's leadership, Standard Oil grew rapidly, dominating the oil refining industry. His business tactics, though controversial, revolutionized the industry, making kerosene affordable for the masses and setting new standards for efficiency and profitability. Despite his success, John faced intense scrutiny and criticism. His business practices were seen as ruthless, leading to public outrage and government intervention. This scrutiny ultimately led to the dissolution of Standard Oil as a monopoly, but John's legacy endured. In the state of New York, the Rockefeller family saga began. John, shaped by his devout Baptist mother Eliza, learned early on the values of charity, frugality, and effective money management. These principles, instilled in him during his upbringing, would later become the cornerstone of his extraordinary business success. However, John's path was also influenced by his father, William Avery Rockefeller, a charismatic but deceptive traveling salesman. William sold questionable miracle cures, promising to heal everything from minor ailments to serious diseases. This contrast between his mother's steadfast teachings and his father's flamboyant tricks set the stage for the Rockefeller family's journey. As John grew older, he developed a sharp business acumen. He began his career as an assistant bookkeeper in Cleveland, Ohio, meticulously recording every transaction and starting to save and invest wisely. His dedication to charity was evident from the start, as he set aside a portion of his earnings to help those in need. The turning point came during the Civil War, when John and his partner, Morris B. Clark, entered the oil refining business. This decision proved pivotal, leading to the establishment of Standard Oil, which would revolutionize the oil industry and propel John to immense wealth. Under John's leadership, Standard Oil expanded rapidly, dominating the market with innovative business practices. Despite facing criticism and legal challenges, John's strategic vision and ruthless efficiency enabled Standard Oil to control nearly 90% of the oil refining industry in the United States by 1880. John's success transformed the Rockefeller family from new money to old money, establishing a legacy that would endure for generations. He focused on preserving and growing his wealth through prudent investments and the creation of the Rockefeller Foundation, a major philanthropic institution that continues to make a significant impact today. In a surprising twist of fate, the miracle elixir sold by John D. Rockefeller's father contained petroleum, a substance that would unknowingly shape John's future. This discovery would eventually lead him to become one of America's wealthiest individuals. Meanwhile, John's father, William Avery Rockefeller, had a dubious reputation. He was involved in horse theft and frequently found himself in trouble with the law. His questionable behavior forced the family to move from their home in upstate New York to Cleveland, Ohio. John's mother, Eliza Rockefeller, was a woman of faith and resilience, which greatly influenced John's upbringing. Her strong religious beliefs instilled in John a sense of moral responsibility and ethical diligence that would guide him in his business ventures throughout his life. Despite the challenges brought by his father's actions, John absorbed valuable lessons from both parents. His father's exploits taught him to be wary of deception and to spot opportunities, while his mother's teachings instilled in him the importance of honesty, hard work, and charity. As John grew older, these lessons would prove invaluable as he ventured into the business world. His early experiences, both positive and negative, molded him into a shrewd businessman with a strong moral compass. Despite William Avery's dubious character, he surprisingly valued education, enrolling John D. and his brother William at Cleveland Central High School, the first free public high school west of the Allegheny Mountains. This experience planted the seeds of independence in John D., especially during his father's frequent and prolonged absences. Ironically, these absences, where William Avery indulged in his deceptive practices, inadvertently sharpened John's business instincts. His father's unconventional approach to parenting, often boasting, "I treat my boys every chance I get. I want to make them sharp," exposed John D. to the world of swindling and deceit, molding him into a keen negotiator and a vigilant hawk in the commercial arena. Throughout his formative years, the guiding light in John D.'s life was his mother, Eliza. Her steadfast faith and moral teachings left an indelible mark on him, shaping his values of hard work, thrift, and generosity. As he matured, John distanced himself from his father's dubious dealings, choosing instead to embrace his mother's influence. He often reflected, "From the beginning, I was trained to work, to save, to give." Upon completing his education, John D. Rockefeller began his business career in earnest. In September 1855, at just 16 years old, he entered the business world as an assistant bookkeeper for Hewitt & Tuttle, a small produce commission firm in Cleveland. Even at this young age, John D.'s meticulous nature was evident, keeping detailed ledgers that accounted for every cent in his possession. Rockefeller's journey in business was marked by scrupulous financial acumen and unshakable ambition. He quickly demonstrated his knack for spotting opportunities and managing finances, traits that would define his future success. His ability to carefully track expenses and investments allowed him to build a strong foundation in business. One significant turning point came in 1859 when Rockefeller partnered with Morris B. Clark to launch their own produce commission business. They raised $4,000, which would be equivalent to over $100,000 today, a substantial amount for the time. The business thrived, particularly during the Civil War, as the Union Army's demand for supplies soared. Towards the end of the war, Rockefeller and Clark turned their attention to oil refining, sensing the immense potential in the burgeoning industry. The true breakthrough came in 1866 when John's brother, William Rockefeller Jr., built another refinery in Cleveland, pulling John into the partnership. In 1867, Henry Morrison Flagler joined them, forming Rockefeller, Andrews and Flagler, which would become the world's largest oil refinery. This venture laid the groundwork for Standard Oil, officially established on January 10, 1870. Standard Oil embarked on an aggressive campaign to consolidate the oil market, known as the Cleveland Conquest or the Cleveland Massacre. In less than 4 months in 1872, Standard Oil absorbed 22 of its 26 Cleveland competitors. By 1880, Standard Oil controlled approximately 90% of all oil refineries and pipelines in the United States, allowing Rockefeller to dominate the industry. Rockefeller's business strategies revolutionized the oil industry, making kerosene affordable for the working and middle classes. However, his practices, including underselling, differential pricing, and secret rebates on transportation, invited controversy and criticism. By 1880, Standard Oil was depicted in the media as the most ruthless monopoly in American history, leading to public outrage and government scrutiny. In response to mounting pressure, Standard Oil formed the Standard Oil Trust in 1882, a corporation of corporations designed to consolidate Rockefeller's holdings. This move aimed to centralize control but also fueled public suspicion and scrutiny. Despite these challenges, Standard Oil remained resilient, consistently profitable, and seemingly invincible. Ida Tarbell, a journalist, launched a relentless investigation into Standard Oil, publishing a series of exposés that revealed its ruthless tactics. Her work contributed to the dissolution of Standard Oil as a monopoly, culminating in the landmark Supreme Court decision in 1911 that ordered the breakup of the company under the Sherman Antitrust Act. Undeterred, Rockefeller shifted his focus to philanthropy and retirement planning, aiming to preserve and transform his wealth into a legacy of enduring influence. In 1913, he founded the Rockefeller Foundation with an initial donation of $100 million, broadening his legacy beyond oil and industry. This foundation would become instrumental in supporting public health, education, and scientific research, shaping America's cultural landscape. John D. Rockefeller, a staunch advocate of charity, embraced the concept of tithing from the outset of his career, committing 10% of his earnings to charitable causes. In 1859, he partnered with Morris B. Clark to launch a produce commission business, raising $4,000, a substantial sum for the time that is the equivalent to over $100,000 today. The Civil War proved lucrative for their business as demand for supplies soared, but as the conflict waned, Rockefeller and Clark shifted their focus to oil refining. The pivotal moment came in 1866 when Rockefeller's brother William Rockefeller Jr. built another refinery in Cleveland, drawing John into the partnership. By 1867, Henry Morrison Flagler joined them, forming Rockefeller Andrews and Flagler, which quickly grew into the world's largest oil refinery. This laid the foundation for Standard Oil, officially established on January 10, 1870. Standard Oil embarked on an aggressive campaign to consolidate the oil market, absorbing 22 of its 22 Cleveland competitors in less than 4 months in 1872. And by 1880, Standard Oil controlled about 90% of all oil refineries and pipelines in the United States, allowing Rockefeller to dominate the industry. Rockefeller's strategies, including economies of scale that made kerosene affordable for the working and middle classes, had both beneficial and controversial effects. While it brought cheaper lighting to the masses, it also invited criticism for practices like underselling, differential pricing, and secret rebates. By 1880, Standard Oil was condemned in the media as the cruelest and most pitiless monopoly ever seen in the country, and this intense scrutiny led to the formation of the Standard Oil Trust in 1882, which again was a move to centralize Rockefeller's holdings and consolidate control, which only heightened public suspicion. Despite these challenges, Standard Oil remained resilient, consistently profitable, and seemingly impervious to its critics. Journalist Ida Tarbell, however, undertook a meticulous investigation into Standard Oil's business practices, publishing damning exposés that revealed its ruthless tactics, and her work contributed significantly to the dissolution of Standard Oil as a monopoly, culminating in the Sherman Antitrust Act. Undeterred by the controversy, Rockefeller began planning his transition into retirement as he preserved and transformed his wealth from new money to old money principles. In 1913, he established the Rockefeller Foundation with an additional initial donation of $100 million, reflecting his commitment to philanthropy and broadening his legacy beyond oil and industry. Despite personal challenges and public scorn, including rumors that the stress of scrutiny led to his alopecia, Rockefeller's journey from poverty to becoming the patriarch of one of America's most powerful families was just beginning. John was not just a shrewd businessman. He embodied old money principles like long-term financial planning, privacy, understated elegance, philanthropy, and thrift. These values shaped his children and ensured the Rockefeller legacy would span generations. His commitment to these principles extended beyond business, influenced the cultural and philanthropic landscape of America. During the Gilded Age, while families like the Vanderbilts and the Goulds reveled in their newfound wealth with ostentatious displays of opulence, the Rockefellers pursued a more reserved and sustainable path to prosperity. Cornelius Vanderbilt, renowned for his vast empire in steamships and railroads, flaunted his fortune through grand real estate investments. The Vanderbilt mansions on Fifth Avenue, including the opulent Triple Palace designed by renowned architects and adorned with marble, gold, and other precious materials, served as conspicuous symbols of their immense wealth. Additionally, Cornelius Vanderbilt II purchased an extravagant townhouse on 57th Street, though financial difficulties later forced its sale. The Marble House in Newport, Rhode Island, built by William Kissam Vanderbilt, further exemplified the family's wealth. Despite these displays of grandeur, the Vanderbilts' extravagant lifestyle, epitomized by events like the $1 Million Vanderbilt Costume Ball of 1883, contributed to their financial downfall. Their failure to plan for the long-term sustainability of their fortune resulted in subsequent generations grappling with the financial challenges and a decline from opulence to relative poverty. In a stark contrast, the Rockefellers embraced principles of discretion, thrift, and philanthropy. Led by John D. Rockefeller Sr., they were more concerned with building a lasting legacy than with outward displays of wealth. Rockefeller's approach to business was marked by strategic thinking and meticulous planning. He founded Standard Oil, which dominated the oil industry through strategic acquisitions and efficient management. Rockefeller's business acumen and commitment to disciplined financial management allowed him to accumulate vast wealth while also ensuring its preservation for future generations. Unlike the Vanderbilts and the Goulds, who spent lavishly on mansions and social events, the Rockefellers focused on philanthropy and long-term investments. John D. Rockefeller Jr. in particular inherited his father's dedication to charitable giving and responsible wealth management. He played a pivotal role in the development of Rockefeller Center in New York City and the restoration of Colonial Williamsburg, projects that reflected the family's commitment to improving society through their wealth. The Vanderbilts and Goulds, while influential during the Gilded Age, failed to sustain their wealth due to their indulgent spending and lack of financial foresight. In contrast, the Rockefellers' legacy endures through their commitment to philanthropy and their disciplined approach to wealth accumulation and management. Their story serves as a testament to the importance of prudent financial planning and responsible stewardship of wealth, ensuring that their impact on American society continues to be felt to this day. Similarly to the Vanderbilts, the Gould family, led by railroad magnate Jay Gould, failed to sustain their wealth across generations. Jay, known for his extravagant lifestyle, created Lyndhurst, a sprawling Gothic revival mansion that mirrored his opulence. His children followed suit, building impressive residences like a castle-like mansion in Lakewood, New Jersey, and a French chateau-inspired mansion in Tarrytown, New York. Despite their lavish spending, the Goulds, like the Vanderbilts, lacked a focus on sustained wealth management. George J. Gould II and J. Gould II, descendants of this once affluent lineage, pursued commendable careers but could not preserve the family fortune. After George J. Gould's death, their once formidable wealth dwindled, leaving their descendants far from their opulent heritage. Today, the Vanderbilt and Gould legacies serve as reminders of the impermanence of wealth without prudent stewardship. In contrast, the next generation of Rockefellers took a different path, rooted in old money traditions of privacy, thrift, and philanthropy. These principles were vividly evident in the lives of John D. Rockefeller Sr.'s children, particularly John D. Rockefeller Jr. He inherited not only his father's vast fortune, but also his commitment to philanthropy. Rockefeller Jr. financed the construction of Rockefeller Center in New York and played a crucial role in restoring Colonial Williamsburg, among other philanthropic endeavors. Despite his enormous income, Rockefeller Jr. lived a relatively modest lifestyle, avoiding public displays of wealth and prioritizing his family. The Rockefeller daughters also embodied old money principles. Elizabeth, the eldest, married a banker and led a private life away from the public eye. Alice, despite facing health issues throughout her life, was known for her philanthropy and continued the family tradition of supporting educational and health causes. Alta Rockefeller, another daughter, also contributed to philanthropy and supported causes that aligned with the family's values. The Rockefellers' commitment to privacy and modesty stood in stark contrast to the flamboyant lifestyles of the Vanderbilts and Goulds. While the latter family squandered their wealth through excessive spending and lacked long-term financial planning, the Rockefellers focused on preserving and growing their wealth through strategic investments and disciplined management. Their dedication to philanthropy further cemented their legacy as pillars of society, ensuring their impact would extend far beyond their lifetimes. The Rockefeller family's commitment to old money principles extended beyond the patriarch, John D. Rockefeller Sr., to his children. Despite their immense wealth and privilege they enjoyed, the Rockefeller offspring were raised with a sense of duty and responsibility to society. The third Rockefeller child chose a path of scientific exploration, marrying a scientist and dedicating their efforts to advancing research. This commitment to scientific progress not only reflected the family's appreciation for knowledge, but also underscored their belief in using wealth to benefit humanity. Meanwhile, Edith, the youngest Rockefeller, pursued her passion for music and philanthropy. Her dedication to the arts and charitable causes mirrored her family's tradition of giving back to the community. Through her philanthropic endeavors, Edith sought to uplift society and support initiatives that enrich people's lives. However, the Rockefeller children were not immune to challenges that come with immense wealth and fame. John D. Rockefeller Jr. in particular faced scrutiny for his business practices, which were often compared to his father's. Despite this, he remained committed to upholding the family's legacy of ethical stewardship and philanthropy. Alice, another Rockefeller offspring, grappled with various health issues throughout her life. Despite her personal struggles, she continued to contribute to society through her philanthropic efforts, demonstrating resilience and compassion in the face of adversity. Following in their father's footsteps, the Rockefeller children prioritized long-term financial planning and prudent investments over short-term gains. They understood the importance of preserving wealth for future generations and ensuring that it was used to make a positive impact on society. In a time of rapid economic change and societal upheaval, the Rockefeller family stood as a statue of stability and responsibility. Their adherence to old money principles and dedication to philanthropy ensured that their legacy would endure for generations to come, leaving a lasting imprint on American society. The Rockefellers, starting out as new money, were well acquainted with the ups and downs of wealth. However, their shrewd approach to managing and preserving their fortune allowed them to transition into the revered category of old money. Central to this evolution was their adeptness at integrating into elite society and forming strategic partnerships throughout marriage. They made astute choices in matrimony, strategically aligning themselves with established families, which not only elevated their social standing, but also afforded them significant political influence. John D. Rockefeller Jr., the only son of John D. Rockefeller Sr., set a precedent in 1901 by marrying Abby Aldrich. Abby was more than just a bride. She was the daughter of U.S. Senator Nelson W. Aldrich, a formidable figure whose political clout extended from Wall Street to Washington. This marriage brought the Rockefellers into the inner circles of political power, providing them with a platform to shape policies that aligned with their business interests and philanthropic goals. The next generation of Rockefellers continued this tradition of strategic marriages. In 1930, Nelson Rockefeller, who would later become Vice President of the United States, married Mary Todd Hunter Clark. Mary hailed from a respected Philadelphia family, known for its quiet yet influential role in the city's legal and civic affairs. These marriages were not merely unions of individuals, but they were alliances that combined power, influence, and a rich family heritage. Nelson Rockefeller's tenure as vice president under President Gerald Ford solidified the Rockefeller family's presence in American politics. Concurrently, his brother Lawrence pursued a different path as a venture capitalist and passionate conservationist. Lawrence was deeply committed to environmental sustainability, playing a pivotal role in preserving natural habitats and promoting conservation efforts. The Rockefeller legacy in public service extended to the next generation with John D. Rockefeller IV, commonly known as Jay. Born in 1937, Jay Rockefeller built a distinguished political career, serving as West Virginia Secretary of State and later as the state's governor from 1977 to 1985. In 1984, he was elected to the United States Senate, where he served 5 terms until his retirement in 2015. Throughout his career, J. Rockefeller championed causes such as health care reform and internet privacy, upholding the family's tradition of public service. John D. Rockefeller Sr. and his wife Laura were pioneers in modern philanthropy, believing that wealth should be used to improve society and promote the well-being of others. The establishment of the Rockefeller Foundation in 1913, with an initial gift of $100 million, marked the beginning of their extensive philanthropic efforts. The Rockefeller Foundation has been instrumental in supporting scientific research, public health initiatives, and educational programs worldwide. Their early work included combating hookworm disease in the southern United States and advancing medical research. Over the decades, the foundation has continued to address global challenges such as poverty, climate change, and social inequality through innovative solutions and partnerships. John D. Rockefeller Jr.'s cultural and historical contributions were equally significant. He played a pivotal role in the development of the Rockefeller Center in New York City, a landmark complex of commercial buildings and cultural institutions. The Rockefeller Center became an iconic symbol of urban architecture and culture, contributing to New York City's economic vitality. Additionally, John D. Rockefeller Jr. spearheaded the restoration of Colonial Williamsburg in Virginia, preserving the area's 18th century appearance and historical significance. This initiative allowed visitors to experience colonial life and gain insights into American history and culture. The Rockefeller family's transition from new money to old money was marked not only by their wealth and social status, but also by their adherence to traditional values. They embraced privacy, understated elegance, and a commitment to preserving their wealth for future generations. The Rockefellers are renowned not only for their immense wealth, but also for their profound impact on America's cultural and philanthropic landscapes. They use their considerable resources to support institutions like the University of Chicago and the Museum of Modern Art, shaping the nation's cultural fabric. This philanthropy wasn't just about giving money, it was a strategic tool to enhance their public image and demonstrate their commitment to societal progress. This dual legacy reflects the character of John D. Rockefeller himself, a ruthless businessman, yet an extraordinarily generous philanthropist. Their philanthropic efforts were meticulously planned to improve public welfare and elevate their societal status, facilitating their transition from new money to old money. Through these actions, the Rockefellers not only solidified their place among the elite, but also underscored their dedication to the greater good. Simultaneously, the Rockefellers employed several strategies to safeguard and perpetuate their wealth across generations. A pivotal step in this strategy was the establishment of the Rockefeller Foundation in 1913. More than a charitable act, it was a calculated move to shield their wealth from heavy estate taxes while benefiting society. The foundation's contributions in public health, education, and the arts further enhanced the Rockefeller legacy and name. Trust played a crucial role in their wealth preservation strategy. John D. Rockefeller Sr. created his first trust in 1891, transferring a substantial portion of his fortune to it. This not only provided tax advantages, but also protected the wealth from potential mismanagement by heirs, ensuring its continuity. Additionally, the Rockefellers utilized innovative holding companies to manage their diverse business interests. These corporate structures shielded their wealth while fostering growth, setting a standard for future, wealthy families. The Rockefellers exemplify how a family can become synonymous with philanthropy while maintaining a firm grip on their wealth, a duality that defines their enduring legacy. Their strategic approach to philanthropy and wealth management underscores their ability to navigate the complexities of financial and societal landscapes, securing their position as prominent figures in American history. Similar to the Kennedys, who were previously featured, there is debate about whether the Rockefellers can be considered old money. Some argue that because their wealth originated from business ventures and many family members held high-profile political positions, they do not fit the traditional definition of old money. However, others believe that their extensive philanthropy, strategic alliances, and enduring societal influence have firmly established them as part of America's old money elite. The Rockefellers' legacy is characterized by their dual commitment to philanthropy and wealth preservation. Their ability to adapt and thrive in changing economic and social climates has cemented their place in history as one of the most influential families in the United States. So let me know at the end of our video now, do you believe in this statement? Share your views with us in the comment section below. And for more great videos, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.